E tu mō te karikia. Tūkuna mai te mana kia tūpona hau i aku mahi katoa. Me aroha atu ka aroha mai. Kia tūtonu hei rangatira o te iwi. Ko tōku tū ka pakiri ona atu mā te urunga. Ka pōwa e ahau hei oranga mō tātou katoa. Tihe e mauri.
Right. Cool afternoon all. So we're here this afternoon to celebrate what has been 2.5 weeks of projects for you guys. So that's about a half a week longer than last week. And we really gave you some extra time this year to spend in your projects completing them. But we also lay you the challenge of completing some unit standards throughout the course of this program that link to your learning, but also gave you a little bit of a head start on year 11 and year 12 once you come through. It's been pretty awesome being part of the Dragon's Den and being able to watch you and learn and listen to what you had to say, especially around some of the things that you were invested in, some of the things that you're passionate about, but most importantly, what you learned along the way. So today is really about celebrating. It's about hearing about your journey and making sure that we develop some communication skills. We're able to stand up here and explain to other people what we've achieved. But most importantly, we're able to look back on our journey over the last 2.5 weeks and really celebrate all the cool successes. Some of you have had really massive successes. Some of you have had really small ones and learnings, lots of learnings along the way. But I think overall, we should be pretty proud of the fact that we had 13 different groups this year participating in this program. We had a range of different learning opportunities, from gardening to going out and doing a whole lot of tramping, right through to enhancing our cultural space within school. These are all projects that were largely driven by you and supported by your teachers who are passionate as well. How this assembly is going to run is I'm going to ask each group to kind of come up and present. I did give you the guideline that your presentation is 5 minutes maximum, so I am going to put a little bit of a timer on, because I'm not going to lie, one of the presentations has got me a little nervous with lots and lots and lots of slides. They assure me it's under 5 minutes, so I'm going to make sure that they keep to that as much as possible. As I pull your group, so you know what order you're in, I want your presenters just to come up. Okay, remember, part of our school program has been about our ability to engage with and really live our school values. Okay, those school values are what make us really good listeners and make this a really powerful experience for those that are standing up on stage, which is quite daunting. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to ask the Kaitiaki Guardians trip, which is run by Georgia, Ed, Kira, and Isabella, to come up, please.
Okay, you go on the other side. Do I start? Kaitiaki Guardians by Georgia, Ed, Kira, and Isabella. The what and where. Pukenui. Our first off-site adventure was the 10.5 kilometre Pukenui Forest Track. We had 3 5-minute stops to observe birds. Walking under the canopies, we felt the sun's heat while enjoying lunch by a shallow stream. The return walk was shorter, and we capped off the day with a nice swim in the school pool.
Kiwi North. Our second off-site excursion at Kiwi North involved meeting volunteers for a ponting activity. After lunch, we formed groups for exploration. One group visited the Kiwi North Museum, viewing artifacts like a Moor skeleton and observing Thumper the kiwi and native insects. We also had a tour with Ben, who educated us about the ecosystem's flora, fauna, and fungi. Hatia Loop, Mere Park, Whangarei Falls. Our final journey started at the Hatia Loop. We had our first break, sunball ice cream and snacks. We then walked from behind the pools to Mere Park, from Mere Park to the Whangarei Falls. Throughout this experience, we were surrounded by New Zealand's natural treasures, being coaties, ferns, and creeks.
The why and the how.
One of the main purposes of our walks were to observe and raise awareness of the tracks in whangarei. This experience was also an opportunity to practice being kaitiakitanga and experience being a guardian of our walkways.
This included listening, observing, and identifying the unique calls. We recorded our findings on paper, which was later given to the Department of Conservation, some of which includes tui, fantail, kukapa, bellbird, rifleman, and kiriru.
How? How do these walks happen? Planning. Our teachers, Miss Parnapa, Mr. Griffin, and Mr. Whitcombs, organised all our walks and excursions. Much work and effort was put in behind the scenes, for example, the planting. This included transport and activities as well as when and where we would go. For that, we would like to thank our teachers for everything they have done these past few weeks. How do our projects aim to serve the community and address environment sustainability?
Bird counting. By participating in a bird counting activity and recording our findings, we helped our community monitor bird populations that could indicate changes in predator population. With this information, action can therefore be taken to protect and preserve native bird species.
Planting. At the Kiwi North Centre, we've planted native grasses to create a space where future generations can learn and grow. By taking care of these plants, we're helping to build a cool environment for everyone to gain knowledge and appreciate nature.
Conclusion. In conclusion, our project aimed to serve our community is our observation, time and effort. The highlights of our exclusion was our planting, birds counting, and most of all going to the pool. The end.
Can I now ask the group from Warm Wishes Christmas Cards to come up, please? Okay, just before these guys start, this is a really good example of a project that has transitioned the last 3 years that we've been running this project. So the Warm Wishes Christmas Cards was a project that started at the very beginning. Okay, so it's been in operation now for 3 years, transitioning through the phase, and each year getting stronger and supporting more and more people within our community to feel connected, not only to us, but to the wider community after thinking about things or people that are thinking about them during a difficult time for some people. So Warm Wishes greeting cards.
We did Warm Wishes Christmas cards. Why make Christmas cards? We made these cards for nurses and other workers at the hospital who help to look after the sick and the injured in our community because we appreciate the work they do.
Plans for our project. We discussed what communities we were a part of. We all voted for the groups we would like to thank. We made carefully crafted cards to show that we care. We decided what materials we needed for making cards. We chose the size of envelopes to use that will have the school logo on them.
Oh, these are some photos of us making them.
Continued, we contacted the hospital to find out how many staff that we needed to make cards for and get permission to give them. There are 1,100 staff at the hospital, and we made 230 cards. We also got hospitals help so the staff can receive them. We chose and edited card greetings in English and Te Reo Māori.
We are going to deliver the cards tomorrow, so we will have new photos to add of our trip to the hospital here when we are done.
The easy ones. Teaching staff involved Mrs. Mindoff Carter, Miss Bell, Mrs. Potai, and Mrs. Maharaj. Students involved Kennedy Davis, Libby Dixon, Kaya Emmons Griffiths, Hannah Frost, Kara Gribble, Gemini Harris, Caitlin Henderson, Natalia Hippie, Wyatt Hitchcock, Marley Honey, Sunny Kofana, Benjamin, Maria Jordan, Ella Matson. What? I can't read this. What? Cam Porter, Devon Potai Paniora, James Ropatini, Matthew Rust, Michaela Spires, Isaiah Stewart, Lexi Tiraki, Ashley Thompson, and Madison Thompson.
Oh, wow. Yep. Main. Thank you for listening to our presentation. I did not get showed that second to last.
All right, can I just have back in the day, please? Is it just the one slide?
Yeah, just the one slide. We thought it was one slide. Or so we've been told, yeah. Oh my god. So like my name's James and this is like back in the day. So like what we're doing is we're going to old folks' homes like Booper and Somerset, where we go to them and we interview them and then we write about their stories. And so what we are is, well, I just said that, but why do we do this? It's because like old people, eventually they're going to die and maybe forget some of this stuff, so we're going to need to write these down to preserve them for us to learn upon and to, remember. So we did this about Reg. So a fellow we met at Booper. So what he did is he blew up his neighbor's garage because he blew up an old milk tin full of fireworks and his neighbor's garage blew up. So our main purpose, as I said before, to preserve their memories is probably to give it back to them, to have something they can cherish and love, their stories. And that's really about it. Oh, yeah, well, I read it. The basic premises. That's the same thing as well. Who we had help with? I'd like to thank. Who's our teacher again? No, actually, who's our teacher there? I would like to thank Miss Butler for organising all this and stuff. What else should I say? No. But besides that, it's overall we've done a good thing for the elderly people, and that's really about it. Yeah. Mob, that's cool.
Thank you, guys. Can I have Ngāti Kahu o Toronare ki te hoi, please? Hello, this is our Ngāti Kahu o Torongare ki te hoi community project, Nā Tia, Charlotte, and Savara.
Ko huripaki me parakiore ngā maunga, ko te wairua te awa, ko ngā tukumata te waka, ko ngarara tunua, te marae, ko ngā tukahu o Torongari te hapu, ti hei mauriora.
Um, we we invited Hurupaki to our school to tell them everything that we learned during our community. This helped understanding ourselves, helps us to contribute meaningfully and respectfully to our community.
Kaitiakitanga. We learned the concept of guardianship, focusing on the sustainable use of natural resources and particularly in relation to the materials used for wakahoi. This is mātauranga whakairo I tuku iho. We learned about the importance and artistry of whakairo and the knowledge and skill passed down through generations from our tupuna. These are some of the photos of our creations.
Wait, so to make these, we had to sketch them out on a piece of paper, and then we had to cut out some wood, and then we had to put the design on the wood.
This is a whakatauki we chose. Ko te manu e kai ana te miro, nōna te ngahere ko te manu e kai ana te mātauranga nōna te ao. And this is some of the designs we created. Oh, we're finished now. Thanks for listening.
Alrighty, pre-trades. Okay, thank you guys. Cool. So pre-trades is a little bit different to some of our traditional community projects. So pre-trades are the Year 10 students who are going into the Trades Academy at Year 11 next year. The whole project still has the same ethos that yours does around giving back to the community, around making sure that we make sure everyone feels cared for, manaakitanga, but it is for those students to gain a little bit of understanding around the skills and develop some of those pre-skills that are going to help them when they go into the Trades Academy at Year 11. So they're really lucky to have that experience and that precursor into Year 11. So they already have a little bit of an idea around what to expect next year. So let's have a listen to their project.
Hi, kia ora. We are pre-trades. So what we've been doing is making picnic tables for Hurupaki Primary, and it was a success.
A team of students went up to Hurupaki School to survey, and we found out that they needed picnic tables because the ones at Hurupaki School were falling apart. So we came back, we designed, and we built tables.
During our first 2 days of our community projects, we went through health and safety. So we discussed the aspects of PPE and who our first aiders were.
So right here we have our hazard board that we made with the team. Just things to keep us safe and all that for next year and the following years after that.
After our toolbox talk on Monday morning, we decided to brainstorm and plan our community project.
We split into two groups, design, which was led by Adrian and Mr. Kuma, and our presentation group, which was led by Mr. Bailey. The design group worked on making a prototype and get a accurate costing. In the presentation group, we worked on the slideshow that we're showing you right now. This is our budgeting, so this shows the cost of everything, how much we needed of it. And yeah, there was a grand total of $175.84 per table, which came up to $527.52 for all three of them.
So right here we have like a beautiful prototype. So we finished making 3 tables, our picnic tables, and then we delivered it to Hirupaki Primary.
This is the trades compound down on the other side of school where we did the project, and this is the map from our school to the Hirupaki Primary in distance.
Here are some of the names of our supporters, mainly our teachers that supported us during this project. There's also a list of their skills.
So during our Dragon's Den, we got asked about our security, like how we're going to do it. These were some ideas that we came up with. So we were thinking of maybe chaining the seat to a pole, which we could have put in the ground, or store them in a locked area when not in use. We suggested these to Mr. Clarkson, but he decided not to use them because they were already fenced off.
On Thursday, the 28th, we went and presented to the Dragons to get the approval, and we did get approved. We designed and made some picnic tables for the Hirupaki School. You can see in the photo, that's what they turned out like. We also had some other projects that we were involved with, such as putting up the gym racks in the new gym. And we also did some work around D Block by moving the seating.
So what we've learned is that we've learned about health and safety. We learned how to design and build. We learned how to do teamwork for next year, I think. We learned how to use most hand tools under supervision from Tony and Ivan and Adrian.
In conclusion, Hirupaki Primary were super happy with the tables that we presented them with. The PE department was ecstatic about what we have achieved in the new gym. We also made a template for naming any work we make in the future. Thank you for the opportunity for us to serve the community.
Celebration baking. Thank you, guys. Just while that group is coming up here, I think it's probably apt to point out right now, Pretrades are a group which always does amazing presentations because they listen, they take on board feedback, they go away, they problem solve, they rethink things through, They come back again, and then they go to production phase. They're a group that year on year keep surprising us with their amazing skills and just how putting something in context can actually make things a lot easier to learn. So thank you, pre-trades, for that one. We're now going to look at celebration baking.
Kia ora. We are the celebration baking team. Hi, my name is John T.
My name is Sophie.
My name is Jace.
I am Kamo.
And this is Georgia.
For our community project, we did celebration baking. This was a way to pass our gratitude to the business community and here in Te Kamo. During the 2 weeks in this project, we chose recipes, planned a budget, prepared, learnt about safety and hygiene, made our baking treats, and gave them out to the local business in Te Kamo village. Every morning, we would go over the expectations and activities for the day. Here we made shortbread and fudge.
This is how many shortbread and gingerbread we had to ice. Here we are frosting the brownies.
Am I reading again? We created decorations out of fondant to put on the brownie Christmas trees. Once we had made our fondant decorations, we began placing the treats on plates in equal amounts, so there was at least one of every type. Ooh. Handsome man right there. Anyway, here we are preparing and packaging the treats.
On each plate, there was ginger fudge, chocolate truffles, swirl cookies, brownie Christmas trees, gingerbread shapes, and shortbread. We hand-placed each treat to ensure that they would fit on. When the plates were full, we wrapped them up in cellophane, added the thank you labels with a list of ingredients on the back, and added a bow. We placed about 10 plates in each basket and began to deliver to each Te Kamo business. Because of allergies, the law requires ingredients to be named on any goods. So on one side of the thank you card, we listed the ingredients of all our treats.
While most of the package were wrapped up in cellophane. A few of them were in cardboard box like this one with a bow tied around it.
We delivered the treats in groups with names of the businesses we were delivering to. Each group had a basket with 10 plates. A teacher would supervise outside while we went into the business and introduced ourselves and explained why we were giving them the gifts.
Overall, each business we went to were grateful for receiving the gift. In return, we received hugs and thank yous. We believe that this project has gone a long way to foster a relationship between Te Kamo businesses and Te Kamo High. We had lots of fun. Thank you.
Tua Te Kamo. Presenters from Tua Te Kamo. Thank you. While that group comes up, it's probably important to note that Celebration Baking is a group that not only supports their development of skills and their creation of amazing treats, but it's something that supports our school to give back annually. So some giving to our local community and to Kamo for everything that they do for us. That little, how do I put it? That little, I guess, treat every year began a couple of years ago. So that tradition is something that our school holds really dearly, and it's something that Celebration Baking helps us every year. So not only do they take them out to Te Kamo, they also give them to lots of our groups that actively support our school that aren't in Te Kamo Township. So some of those are linked to our buildings that are going up at the moment. Some of them are linked to different groups that help support our school every year, but their project is way bigger than just them. So congratulations to that group. Behind me, I have Tour Te Kamo.
Hi, we are Tour Te Kamo, a community service biking group.
We're a group of 28 riders made up of 4 teachers and 24 students. We're here to benefit the community by cleaning up whangarei.
Where did we go? Last week we went for 3 bike rides, the first of which was to the town basin, which was about 20 kilometers. The second and longest ride was out to Onarahi, which was about 40 kilometers. The final ride we did was to the Parihaka mountain bike park, which was about 20 kilometers. It was just over 81 kilometers in total.
Our only purpose was to support our community by going to different locations near whangarei to pick our rubbish.
We picked up 5 bags of rubbish, which weighed 6.2 kg.
What challenges did we face? The main challenges we faced on our journey was the heat of the sun and trying to stay hydrated whilst trying to stay at a decent pace going up a hill.
Those were the main challenges we faced on the way.
We were able to show our school's pride and power as a team by serving our community together effectively.
The way we showed self-management was by showing up at the right time and being there at the perfect time. We also packed the right food, water, and supplements we needed for those days, as well as staying on one side of the road to keep the drivers happy.
We showed perseverance by being able to keep biking even though it was tiring and extremely hot whilst trying to stay hydrated throughout the heat.
And we spent our time picking up rubbish and plastic waste left around places, and we collected 5 bags of rubbish, weighing a total of 6.2 kilograms.
We demonstrated respect by cleaning up our local community.
We were showing respect by cleaning up the rubbish in whangarei.
Everyone participated in this biking activity. A majority of the group came on all 3 days, which we did a total of 81.42 kgs, and we picked up 6.2 kgs of rubbish.
Finally, we have a video to showcase our experience, showing what we did on the past 3 days.
Pacifica proud.
Hello. Hello guys. That's not me. We are the Pacifica Proud Group. Yeah.
What we did with our community project, we had spent many hours learning Niuean traditions. Us as a group started learning all the facts about the sports, arts, and dance, and stories behind them. Oof. We have gotten the opportunity to go over to 2 primary schools, Kamo Primary and Hikarangi School, to teach them the stories of how the Niuean necklaces were made and turn them into sports, dance, and art.
The Mickey. The Mickey is the performance that we just did, which is from the culture of Niue. Which it was also first born by Fiji and adapted from the Niuean purposes. The Mickey involves from the little mini shells that Niue has had to offer. They're little mini shells, necklaces that are yellow. You can like paint them and like dye them. No, is it bleach? Is it bleach or dye? Paint them, and also involves picking up the shells, which means kyoko hihi, holo sikana, washing and cleaning the shells, tawaki hela, laying the shells out in the sun and to dry, and whakapūs titui to pierce and thread the shells that make the necklace.
There we go. Fuck. What was good and what worked very well? I think our group worked really well together and were able to communicate effectively to ensure our primary school kids were engaged and learning about our Pacifica community. The schools that we went to were really excited to have us, and the students were keen to learn and stayed engaged. Because of this, everyone was able to have fun. How it benefited us and how the schools we went to, yeah. This project has benefited our whole group by getting us involved in leadership opportunities and interacting with younger students that will one day be out at our school. This project benefited the schools that we went to as we were able to introduce them to our Pacifica community. We are able to do this by getting the kids involved, active, engaged. The priority was fun. Holy. I think so. Thank you.
The Marae experience. All right, just while this group comes up, what many of you don't realize as students is that this project really gives us the opportunity to talk to a lot of our feeder schools that we're maybe not so close with. After the Pacifica group went and visited Hikurangi Primary School, their principal reached out commending our students on their willingness to go out and work with a feeder school that traditionally doesn't get a lot of opportunities like that. So little Hikurangi just down the road, 10 minutes away from us, often the principal said, often their school feels neglected because they're not part of whāngarei community. They sit slightly on the outside, and that's how they feel all the time. So the fact that our Pacifica group went and reached out to that school, went and worked with a large percentage of their school, and engaged with students in a really positive light, just meant the world to that principal, to her staff, and to the students there. So those are the little gems that we as teachers get to hear, but quite often as students, you don't get to hear that really positive feedback. So well done to the Pacifica Proud Group for going out and engaging with a school that otherwise felt a little bit unloved because they now know that Kamo High School is here for them, and Kamo High School has a committed relationship to going back every year and engaging with them in a positive way. We now have the Marae Experience Group.
Oh, fuck. Kia ora tātou. Whiti ora ki te whai o ki te omarama, whiti ki ronga, whiti ki raro. E ngungu ki te kōtu, e ngungu ki te rāku. Tūtā ki tēnei tā, tūtā ki te rata, tie wā muri ora. Ka tuku mi ki ai o, i onui, i oro, i o take o te wānanga ko i oi. Tēnei au I tūhake, tēnei e mihi ana ki a koe. Ka mi atu ki ngā tini mate, ko whiturangi te o te koro e te whai o rangi nui. Haere, haere, oki mai rā. Āpiti ono tātou ono te onga mate ki te onga mate. Āpiti ono tātou ono te onga ora ki te onga ora. Nō reira, tēnā koutou. Nō reira, ko ai hui tuake nei. Ko te rangi niwana o tōku maunga, ko rangi unu tuku awa, ko mai maru tuku marau, ko karahau po te waka, ko ngai tākuto te iwi, ko ngā pū te apu, ko hantuku i ngā whānau, ki te tātuku pāpā, ko Jack Allen tuku karangi pā, ko Don Allen tuku karangi mā, ko Amy Toya tuku pāpā, ki te tātuku māma, ko Agnes Hunt tuku karangi mā, ko Barry Hunt tuku karangi pā, ko Era tuku māma, ko Nico Ahu. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Oh, you press the slide key. Oh, sorry. Sorry for the language. So our pūtake, what is our why? Well, we wanted to give back to the Nārara Tonua community by fixing up their playgrounds and gardens, so they and just helping out wherever we can. By showing our school values, we did our best cleaning up, showing respect, and staying on task, and showing perseverance. If a project wasn't done when we did it the first time properly, we'd have to do it again.
What's our project? What we prepared, what we did, so cleaning, like upkeeping, water blasting.
These are the people who helped. Yeah. Dan Rose, Ian Me, Diane Anson, Sherelle Me, Raj, Mr. Raj, Wynyard, and Whaiora.
So this is all the stuff we used, and this is how much it would all cost if we had to buy everything. This is what we actually needed so that's how much we got. This is what we bought, but thanks to Hammer Hardware, we were able to. They gave us a good ass deal, and we got some plants for free. And that just made us we were able to just do a little bit more because we were able to get those plants for free.
Is our health and safety. We used a water blaster to begin with to clean the lichen and dirt off the playground. Some of us also worked on the playground, which was about 1 meter off the ground. We used tools, hammers, saws, drills, gardening spades, and forks. Oh, that's our lovely
Skip
group.
skip the photo. Hard,
Nice.
push the bloody button, bro.
This is our lovely group.
Yeah, you didn't see that. Do the autoplay, bro. Yeah, good. Did you do that?
All of you's got to get up now. Oh, yeah.
Click it. Click it. Yep. Yep. There we go. Good job.
Stand up. Hurry up.
Oh my God. Before we finish, we have to give a thank you staff thingy. So thank you SLT, if you can come up and take your thing, please. Thanks, miss. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can tell your mum you got something. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.
Okay, team, thank you. All right. Remember before when I said that a lot of this project is about the really beautiful moments and the things that you don't otherwise get to see. And I think it's probably appropriate at this time to share something with you from the Marae Experience Group. When they started their journey, all they had in their mind was that they needed to fix some problems and they wanted to give back to our local hapu who give so freely of their time to us. They went out and they did a little scouting visit and they came away with this massive list of things that they thought that they could do. And then they went away and found experience to help them to do it. What they didn't realize was that on the very final day of their experience, that everything would come together for them. What I didn't realize is that I'd be bawling my eyes out on the last day. Being invited to that very last day, they presented a beautiful sense of manaakitanga and aroha to that hapu. And they decided that they would make that playground a project and make sure that they saw that playground through. One of the things that Shantae shared with us on the very last day, when the hapu came in to break bread with us and share that kai to finish off that last project, was that the playground was actually established 28 years ago. And it was established a week after there was a death right outside the marae. That death occurred because the marae had no playground. So students, people, young tamariki that were there would cross the road over to an area across the road that did have a playground. It was an area that was used by a training establishment at the time. They had a beautiful playground, big basketball courts, and people would, little kids, would cross the road, and that's where they would play because the marae didn't have those facilities then. Unfortunately, one of our local Te Kamo High School 15-year-old students lost their life at that point, crossing the road. The whānau established that playground to make sure that their tamariki was safe, that they had somewhere on site that they could keep and hold their tamariki dear and make sure that that tragedy never occurred again. The group that formed part of the marae committee had actually met about 6 months earlier and decided that that playground should be taken down. It was a health and safety hazard. It had a whole lot of rot in it. It had a whole lot of, as you saw in the pictures, a whole lot of mold. It was slippery. They voted to take down that playground. That beautiful moment was something that no one was aware of leading into that group. It was something that they shared with that group that had the entire group in tears because it was something that meant a lot to the group that they took time to spend with, to offer them manaakitanga and their aroha, but spend time actually learning and listening and time with those narratives that people have to offer. So I think that was a really beautiful moment that pretty much moved most of those people to tears in that room. Those are the little hidden gems that we get back by giving back to our community. Little things that we didn't understand or we don't know that are bigger than us. And that's something that I want to commend this group on, is thinking outside of themselves and spending the time to really give back to your community. On that note, I realise that we are heading into 3 o'clock. We have 3 groups left to present, and I would like to give and ensure that those groups have the time to reflect on their project and to leave those little gems like we've had today with you. So what we are going to do in a moment, we're going to close, and then we are going to come back here first thing tomorrow morning, as soon as the bell goes with your bags, and we are going to finish off our presentations with those 3 groups that are left. Okay? All right. Okay, in a moment, when we are quiet, all right, e tū, please, whānau. E noho. Te Marino, kia whakapapa pounamu te moana, hei huarahi I te rangi, aroha atu, aroha mai, tātou ia tātou katoa, tihei mōri ora. Right, please be seated and your teachers will release you.